Hi, I'm Lulie Morrisey, Hampton Theater Company board member. Everyone on the board decided that we would share with you some of the books that we've been reading recently and some of the books that are on our reading list for the months ahead when we're not doing any shows and everyone is spending a lot more time at home than usual. The first book I wanted to tell you about was a book I read earlier this summer. It came out this year by Eric Larson, The Splendid and the Vile, about Churchill's first year in office as prime minister when England got into the war and the Blitz began. It's a nonfiction book. It reads like fiction. It's very, very hard to put down. I liked it so much that I read another one of Eric Larson's books, In the Garden of the Beast. This one is set in Germany in the 1930s, in the years leading up to Hitler. And it's also absolutely fantastic. I'd highly recommend it. Then this summer, I read two books on similar themes. James Baldwin's The Fire Next Time, which is in the form of a letter written to his nephew about slavery and racism. It's a very, very moving book. In a similar vein, Ta-Nehisi Coates' book of a few years ago, Between the World and Me, is a letter written to his own son about those same topics. Wonderful, wonderful, very short books to read. Very, very recently, I finished In the Kingdom of Gorillas, which is a book by two field biologists who went to Rwanda in the 1970s and 80s and worked on gorilla conservation and did amazing things for gorillas in that country. I read this because I did a trip to Africa last year and we were able to do a gorilla trek and meet gorillas, and I'm just fascinated by them. So if you're interested in those kind of topics, this is a wonderful book. Right now I'm reading two books, a memoir by Nikki Joya Mitchell, who was an artist in East Hampton, a fabulous artist who I knew. She recently died. This is a memoir about her early years in Italy when she was a child in World War II and eventually came to America. And it's a charming, charming book. At the same time, I'm reading intermittently different chapters in the world, a brief introduction by Richard Haas, which is a wonderful primer on everything that you'd want to know about modern history and the different world wars and how we got there in different countries in the world. So it's a great book just to have and pick up and read every once in a while. On my reading list for the next few months, The Topeka School by Ben Lerner. This was a Pulitzer Prize finalist a few years ago, and it's supposed to be very good, and I'm very much looking forward to starting that. And last but not least, Elena Ferrante's most recent book, The Lying Life of Adults. And I really, really enjoyed her Naples quartet of books, starting with My Brilliant Friend, which I couldn't put down a couple of years ago. And this is her most recent book, and I'm very, very much looking forward to starting that. So maybe you'll pick up some of these titles going forward, and if you do, happy reading.